Hey guys, it's another video. I'm back, hopefully you're back. Hello, if you're new. So today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about a TV show because I have fallen in love with the show New Amsterdam. It's on Amazon Prime. The first season came out in 2018 and it is a medical drama, guys, and we know I do love me a medical drama. Grey's Anatomy, recommended that to you. And also my love for The Night Shift, which I am still mad that got cancelled. The internet describes the show as follows. New Amsterdam follows Dr. Max Goodwin as he becomes the medical director of one of the United States' oldest public hospitals, aiming to reform the neglected facility by tearing up its bureaucracy in order to provide exceptional care to patients. I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. I'm not really sure how it could be spoilery because I'm going to be talking about the whole of season 1. But, you know, I guess if there is a spoiler, I'll warn you with the classic sign, you know. I've got you. I'm not here to ruin it. This show, New Amsterdam, is really good in my opinion because it has a really good balance between showing the medical aspect but also the personal side of the characters. And I say this as someone who's watched all 16 seasons of Grey's Anatomy and has watched it slowly become less and less about the medical parts of the show and more about everyone's sex lives. So yeah, this show doesn't really do that, and I think it's very good because you get to see just enough of everything to get emotionally attached. There's also in New Amsterdam there's not too many main characters that you have to follow. So along with Max, you've also got Bloom, Sharp, Reynolds, Iggy and VJ. So in total there's only 6 main characters that you need to follow. So you see enough of all of them that you get attached to at least one of them, if not all, because all of them are so fantastic. Like, the personalities of these characters are incredible and they're so diverse as well. And like, even when you don't even know that they're the main character yet, like one of the main characters yet, in the first episode, you can see part of their personality, and I'm honestly so here for it. This isn't necessarily a spoiler, but it kind of is, but also you find out about it in literally the first episode, so tread lightly. But while he's also starting this new job, Max is in a really like strained marriage with his pregnant wife, Georgia, because she basically says, is he married to her or is he married to his work? So there's that. But then also he's actually got cancer. So there's that. And the show, the way this storyline is written, oh my days, it is fantastic. Like, how they wind that into him trying to do his thing is incredible. But also, like, the way he deals with it isn't great, but the way the story is written is so amazing. And the way it all just falls into place with all the other storylines and amazing. The way the characters interact in the show is actually really great. The way it's done is quite, you tend to see the main 6 more, they're sort of paired off. So you see more of Iggy with VJ than you do Iggy and Bloom, for example. So it's Sharp and Max are paired together, really. Iggy and VJ and Reynolds and Bloom, they're the 3 sort of like pairs, like they're the scenes they'll do most with, but that doesn't stop them all interacting as a whole. But the way that they do that is just so good. Like, it's so much easier to follow because there's not so much of like, wait, who's that? Wait, who's that? Wait, what? It's just fantastic. So Max has a catch line throughout the show, and it's, how can I help? And they introduce that catch line almost immediately in the show, and it's just fantastic. And I really just love how when he says that, and the way it's used is more to show the fundamental issues that there is with the American healthcare system, because oh my days, I'm British and I'm watching and I know these things and I'm like, what are they doing? Like, America, what? They show that the healthcare system sucks in so many different ways for so many different people, but also they show Max going out of his way to make it suck less for people. And also, like, they show that he fights against the board of directors to be like, yo, these people are human, they need help, like, why, we need to help them. But also, they're just, he goes out of his way to find like loopholes, and he just is like, now we're gonna do it for free. Like, it's just incredible. The way I'm describing it isn't doing it justice, but it's great. Max is honestly such chaotic good. Like, his leadership makes for a very easy and quick loyalty from his peers and those who he works for. Yeah. But there's also such a fine line being tread between doing good and following the rules. Like, he is constantly towing the line, and it's one of those things where you just get really stressed for him, but like, you support him as well because he's doing so well. So well. As I've said, I've watched a few medical dramas in my life. But New Amsterdam is arguably the first that I've seen where they have a whole psychiatry unit as part of the hospital, and like, it's a regularly featured part of what you see. Like, Iggy is the head of the psychiatry department, and I've just never seen it be included in a show. For example, like, I'm aware that when a person donates an organ or is receiving an organ, they have to have a psych evaluation to make sure that they know what they're doing and like they're in the right headspace to do that. But I've never seen that done before on a show. But New Amsterdam has, they get Iggy, they show Iggy going in and being like, I just need to ask you some questions, is that okay? Like, I've never seen that happen, I'm just somehow aware of it. But they just expose so much more about like an area that's never really shown in TV. Like, they show kids that are getting therapy or are inpatients for things, and then they also have like veterans that are in there and getting the help. They've got some couples therapy. Like, they talk about drug addiction. They even talk about like drug addiction within doctors, which is wild. It's just loads of things that I've never actually seen done in a medical drama in that sort of way, but also make it seem normal and not like, oh my gosh, all of these people are crazy, you know? And also in the show, they show prisoners that need hospital help, so they have a like prison section of the hospital. It's really weird. They basically say that New Amsterdam is like its own mini city, and you know, I do see that, to be honest. I do see it. So they've got a prison ward for the prisoners that come to the hospital from Rikers. That's in New York, I believe. I could be wrong. And it's just it's a whole other area that's never really shown. Like, there's a couple of storylines about it in Grey's Anatomy, but it's done so much more in New Amsterdam, and it just exposes so much that like you don't really think about when it comes to prisoners, like them having to ration tampons or like sanitary products, or what happens when they have a baby in prison but the prison doesn't have any facilities for them to keep the baby with them. Like, there's just so many different things, and it's it just makes it done so well. Like, it just is gives a new vibe. I don't know really how to express it's just so good and it's so well made, and I'm so glad there's going to be more seasons. I actually didn't know until recently that the show is actually based on a real hospital and a real doctor and his time as a medical director. It's based off his memoir that he's written, and I think that actually gives the show something else, like not even just in sense of like some of the stories are going to be based on like truth, but like it just brings a new atmosphere, I think, to the show, because they know what they're talking about, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not saying that other medical dramas don't know what they're talking about, but the fact that this is based on truth and real stories and real life just makes it, you know? So the final thing I want to say about New Amsterdam, okay, and it's about the season finale. Now, this is in no way, shape or form gonna spoil it at all, but I am so glad that season 2 was already available when I watched the season finale of season 1, because they leave you on such a cliffhanger, and I'm talking jaw dropped, questioning everything. You're like, hang on a second, I thought we were Gucci. But, you know, you'll have to find out the whole reason why and what happens yourself by watching it on Amazon Prime. So that's been my thoughts, feelings, vibes, everything to do with season 1 of New Amsterdam. So I've just said that season 2 is available, but they've also been renewed for another 3 seasons. So there will be at least 5 seasons of New Amsterdam. I don't know when the filming of season 3 is going to happen, because as far as I'm aware it should have happened now, but obviously COVID's around, so I don't know. But anyway, on to giving it a rating, because I feel New Amsterdam deserves a rating along with the extra rewards. So I am going to give it It's The Vibe, because I do love it very much. So yes, this might be the only time I actually give a TV show an actual rating, but don't hold me to that. Cool. And the extras I'm going to give it is quality content, because honestly it just gives so much. And also, like, it could be so easy for all of the medical dramas to be so similar and the same, because there's only so much medicine. But this one does stand out from the rest, in my opinion, and I'm not even sure why, it just does. I'm also going to give it It Owns My Soul, because I am way too invested in the characters and the show and everything that's going on, and therefore I feel it in my heart and soul and bones. And then the final one I'm going to give it is just wow, and I feel there's no need for me to explain that one, so we'll leave it just at that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's not like a film or anything, but I am very much more a TV watcher than I am a film watcher, so I thought I'd push the boat out and maybe talk about something that I enjoy, and maybe I think other people will enjoy. Especially if you like Grey's Anatomy, I think you'll enjoy this. So yeah, give it a watch. Amazon Prime. Season 1 and 2 are available. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! He becomes the medical... Oh, I'm gonna try that again.